been severed. The people who are lost in this wilderness of North America, struggling around in triple darkness, deaf, dumb, and blind, who need Allah bad, who needs to know about the Rasul of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, who needs to know about this Quran, who the kuffar are fighting desperately their ugly jihad to keep us away from the Quran, keep our hands off of it, keep our eyes off of it. They set up a school system, over 100,000 free, tuition-free schools, cross-country. You know, call it a public school system. The main purpose of the public school system is to keep the hands and eyes of the children off of this book right here. That's why it was established. Hey, the Crusades never ended in their head. And the jihad never ended in our hearts. We have to understand this thing. And what's really going on. Right now, we are the targets of the shaitan and his outlet of kafirs. The Hezbollah shaitan, the party of shaitan. We out there joining that party. You know, party, cheat, party over here. Partying our life away in a bunch of folly and stupidity. We done messed around and joined the party of the shaitan. There's the shaitan. We got to call our people out of that. That word, dawah, is the same word, comes to the same root word as dua and da'i. It means to call. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he says, وَمَنْ يَعْقُ مَا اللَّهِ إِلَهٍ آخَرَ لَا بُرْحَانَ لَهُ بِهِ فَإِنَّمَا حِسَابُهُ عِنْدَ رَبِّهِ. Then he says, إِنَّهُ لَا يُفْلِحُ الْكَافِرُونَ. He says you have no right to call upon anybody other than him. You have any right to do that. Why? He said, because our hisab, our reckoning, is going to be with your Lord, with him. He says, after that he says, true. The Kafirs can't win. إِنَّهُ لَا يُفْلِحُ الْكَافِرُونَ. They can't win. They can't win. I don't care what they do. I don't care how they try to blow up the light of Allah with their mouths. They can't win. Allah's going to perfect His light. And Allah's going to perfect His light by shining His light on the believers, the people of dhikr, the ulul albab, those who He has imbued with understanding. What's really going on? What's really going on out here? It's a struggle. It's a jihad. The believers fighting against disbelief. Fighting against kufr. How do we do that? By doing dawah on our hearts. Our own hearts, by doing dawah on the hearts and minds of the people, by correcting misconceptions, that have been programmed into the minds of the general public. They do it by way of media. They do it by way of the internet. They do it by way of newspapers, movies, magazines. We do it by way of the Quran. That's how we do it. We knock the brains out of falsehood with what? Haqq. With the truth. we tell them about, hey, did you know that God is not a white man? Did you know that? Oh, what, he a black man? No. A black man either. He ain't no man at all. Although we refer to him in the masculine, sense, he's not a man. He created men, and he created women. He created them for what? وَمَا خَلَقْتُ الْجِنَّ وَالْإِنسَ إِلَّا لِيَعْبُدُونِ. Created them for one reason. One reason. That's to worship him. That's our job, to worship Allah. And we learn how to worship Allah by studying his book and by studying the sunnah of his Rasul sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. That's how we, and then once we learn how to do it, then we put it into effect. We do what we say. We don't want to be hypocrites, right? We definitely don't want to be hypocrites. Equine, we don't want to be hypocrites. Allah ain't got nothing good to say about them hypocrites. There's no good in them. That's why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala took the man out of their deen. They have a deen. A deen is a way of life. But they have no iman in their deen. The words are like hollow, timber propped up. What they say with their tongues is not what's coming from their heart, what's hidden in their hearts. It can't be like that. And there's some two forms of nifaq. One form of nifaq, as the Prophet ﷺ described it, he said, the munafiq is the one who, when he speaks, he lies. And when he makes a promise, he breaks that promise. And when he's entrusted with something, he betrays the trust. And when he gets angry, he begins to abuse people with his tongue. He uses foul language. Starts backbiting and stuff like that. SubhanAllah. That's one clear, mubin hypocrite right there. We know when people display all four of those behaviors, they're a full-blown hypocrite. But the Prophet ﷺ even treated them like Muslims. He did. He talked to them like he was talking to a Muslim, even though he knew that they were hypocrites. The Prophet ﷺ had so much feeling for his ummah. And not just his ummah, but the entire human family. So he was very concerned about his ummah. Allah says, Qala Rasulullah. Ya Rabbi, inni itakathu. No, inni kauni itakathu. هذا القرآن مهجورا. He said it, oh my Lord, truly my people have taken this Quran as foolish nonsense. It's old-fashioned. It's out of date. They're leaving the Quran. His people. So he was very concerned about that. He was very concerned about that. The entire human family.